Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. Hopefully, everyone had a great weekend. Good to see you all. Bill, Mike, Grant, everybody on social media. Good to see you all. Welcome back. Looks like another fabulous week we're going to have. We're got about 2 more weeks, about a week and a half ready for the end of the year. The end of the month. So a lot of good action. This is actually a really exciting part of the year. We're getting earnings announcements. Big one next week. We're getting a lot of good earnings. We'll talk a little bit about it. But before we get there, SGMT, what a nice little move right there. Cheap, inexpensive stock. I know a bunch of you here were enjoying it. We're going to check it out in a little bit. I'm still seeing buying that's coming in. If you logged in here right around 8 o'clock, you saw the stock go from $8 to $13. Great pre-market trading, great day trade. It's and we'll talk a little bit more about it when we get into the segment. But good to see you all, everyone. Let's start off and talk about what happened last week. So last week, a lot of good stuff that's been happening. AI, we keep talking about it. We're pretty much done with all the crypto stocks. I mean, I told you, news was out. It was a January 10th. Done. Stocks came down. So Coin, Mara, all of them took big hits. Even I think Bitcoin's actually down too. It's almost going to break 40,000 last time I checked. But I'm glad we had a good run up. But we have to go to the next exciting stocks that are out there. So we had, the big runner up I want to talk about what happened yesterday on Friday was SMCI. Now that stock made a report that they are going to beat their earnings, and apparently, this is the supercomputer stock, and I'll talk a little bit more about NVIDIA too. But this stock obviously did really, really, really well. I actually did a swing trade on the stock, believe it or not. And it was, once again, this is not the style of cybertradinguniversity, other than we do swing trading, and some of these stocks are expensive. It wasn't like the Maras and the coins we had the opportunity to do that, or the riots, but this is how much they go for. They're really moving. But this stock was up 100 points. Actually, I think it ended up being up 130 points. You could see it right here on Friday. It was at 162, closed at 428, and it hit 462. Now that stock is obviously doing great. And there were other stocks that did really well. AMD, just another one. And I think a lot of people are jumping on the AMD bandwagon because it's a lot cheaper. Now, I don't know if you guys heard, but NVIDIA also one of the big runners up, one of the fabulous 7 stocks that made a big run up. But I think rumor has it, or I don't know if they officially announced it, but they were doing a 5 or 6 to 1 stock split. I think I heard. I got an X alert that they were doing a stock split on Sunday. So I don't know if that's really fake news or whatever. But if they are, listen. Bring it 6 to 1, bring it down to $100. Everybody would jump on it, but these things are not going anywhere. This is not like the hype or anything else. AI is here to stay. It's like the internet stocks when they took off. Here you have it. Now, there are a lot of stocks that are coming out with earnings this week. So you got Tesla coming out this week, which is the big one, and you got Netflix that's coming out this week. We're going to see how they're all going to basically do. Tesla, on the other hand, being one of the most popular stocks out there, it's come out to some really, really big support levels around 200. We'll see how they report. I know they brought down and cut down the prices on their cars. They know it's going to affect it. But remember, Tesla's in a little bit of everything too. They're in robots and everything else, ships and spaceships and everything else. So we'll see how that works. But next week is the real big one. Next week is where you're going to get about, I think it's like 70 to 80 stocks in the S&P that are going to be reporting next week. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But anyway, that's what's going on this week. And not only that, but we have classes that start this week. So if you are in Cybertrading University and if you have not registered yet, talk to Education Advisor, but we did send out the link. So you got phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Remember, those are the classes where we don't teach how to make money. Those are the classes where you learn and stop losing it. So make sure you're in those classes. You got to learn before you can earn. And if you're watching on social media, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to leave a comment, whatever you might have. Let's go on, see what's moving this morning because, a couple other stocks also that moved pretty well. So we know the SPYs did really well, broke all-time highs. DWAC, This is the Trump stock. This thing has been another big runner-up last week. It started at 18. It's at 39. It's, remember, some of you here on site, that stock ran to 180. Remember that? That was unbelievable. It was a huge short squeeze. You know, it was nothing to do. That was worth $180. But anyway, that one's doing nice. So it's moving again this morning, okay? And there's a couple of them. There's DWAC, there's DWACW, there's a few of them. So let's go out there and put the stock. This one's going back on the watch list, DWAC. Now, the only issue that we have with this stock, which a lot of you know this, if you're a student of Cybertrading University, it's got an ugly spread, okay? Now, if they do a reverse stocks, if they do a split, then maybe that might help it and dilute it a little bit, make it a little bit more. But just be very, very careful. It is a very, very volatile stock. iRobot was also a really good stock last week. I went from 14 to 18. This stock got destroyed. It was a $40 stock. We did talk a lot about it. I want to put it on the B list, okay? I like to put it on the B list. It got halted a few times. You could see it here when we started early this morning, and all of a sudden ran from like 15 all the way to about 18. It was a really, really nice move. Save got crushed. It started coming back a little bit, but it's got like this kryptonite around $7. Major problem with Save. Do I want to throw it back on the list? I don't know. I mean, I'm probably going to pass on it. SOXL, obviously that's part of what's happening with all the super chips and with AMD and with NVIDIA. Coin, obviously you can see how much this came down once a rumor came out and time came out. So we're done with that one. And then SMCI, I have that as a swing trade. I don't know if I want to put this on my list, but I'm going to have to because I'm really curious what's going to happen with those earnings. But this thing has just been unbelievable of a run-up. And obviously NVIDIA is going to go on the list too, NVDA. Now, let's go see what's moving on this morning. And these are a little bit more of the brand names, a little bit more in the expensive stocks, which we rarely ever do. But there are these inexpensive stocks as day traders we look at. So SGMI is moving up really, really nicely. So let me move up, and let's get this to the level 3. And let me bring this up over here. So we got it right here. So now we can watch a little bit better. So now if you look over here on the left-hand side, you could see we got some decent orders over here. And on level 4, there was a lot of building up between 11 and 1250. You could see 2,000. Not a lot on the NASDAQ. And actually, let me fix the filters out here so I can eliminate all these stupid hundreds. There we go. So you could see some of the 2000s, a lot more, 3,700 versus 1,400, 14,000, 3,700 on the bid, 12,000 on the offer. Looks like there's a lot more buyers and sellers. Still looks pretty strong. It looks like it probably could test this 16, the rate's going. So put this one on our list, SGMT. Listen, market hasn't opened up, so don't ever think it's ever too late to get in it. Look, boom, we get a nice little pop as you see it. A lot has to do with that, probably at 1250. One big issue we have with the stock, traders, you probably know this, being a cyber trader, it's probably a category 3 or higher. All right, so that's what we got to be concerned about. Something a little bit more controllable, a little bit more slower, nice spread. You have this RVSN moving up right here. RVSN. Let's go see what's going on over here. So we got some decent orders. We got 14,000 share buyer at 2. We got another 10,000 share at 48 cents. So we got some nice iceberg orders out here. That 240, that's probably around right here, I would say. So it's got some good volatility, this one right here. RVSN. Looks like I can get out of it. Good volume. Everything up our alley. This we already know about. This is the actual warrant I was telling you about, DWACW. So that one automatically is already up there. Look at the spread. Very, very dangerous. Be very, very careful of that stock. Another one that's that popped up right here is this LIFW, 19%, 7 million shares. I mean, the volume is beautiful. That's what we're looking at. Unfortunately, there's a lot more sellers than buyers. Probably explains why it's trending down in pre-market right now. But everyone, you should remember this stock. We traded the stock in November. Remember, the stock ran from $3 to $17 on the bottom right. You ever didn't see that? So because we've traded it, we know how she trades. We're going to put this on our watch list because sometimes they become lame ducks in the pre-market, and also the market opens up and these things do take off. So LIFW back on the watch list. Don't think it's going back to 18, and maybe we might get a little push. Chris, we traded this stock before, I remember. little bit on the downtrend. Cheap low stock up 13%. Good volume. 6 million shares already traded. CHRS. 21,000 share buyer right here, 250. We got 10,000 share seller here. So we got some good iceberg orders. Probably explains the nice support and resistance levels. Nice little cheap little stock. Let me tell you, it's Monday. Remember Friday? We got to be careful on Fridays. Remember Mondays and Fridays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, the best days. I'm kind of shocked that Monday got a pretty decent list. I mean, we rarely get this many on this list. Rum is moving. I don't know what happened here. Oh, program trading kick in. 370 up to 425. Let me see what's going on here with RUM. RUM. Not that many orders out there. Oh, you got a 50,000 share seller right there at 450. That's pretty obvious, don't you say? Kind of makes sense, getting close to that 450. I'll put that. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for iceberg orders. All right, I'm done there, 14%. Any good losers? Nothing, nothing, nothing. New York Stock Exchange, anything going on there? This stock looks like it's flat. NCL, I saw this one early this morning, and it's got some pretty good iceberg orders, you know, between 230 and $150. Let me bring up here and show you what I see. NCL. Yeah, it's not really there on NASDAQ, but on level 4, I'm seeing it. Everybody see these big sellers right here and buyers? So this one is not, put this one on our watch list, NCL. Coal is moving, really, really big runner up. Let me tell you, I got out of Boyle. If you were here Thursday and Friday, and I told you, I thought I was really promising what was happening with Boyle. I thought we were turning a corner right here. The cold weather, everything else. Sure enough, Boyle took a very, very big hit. Over the long term, started coming back. It started breaking down. Once I got here around 31, I'm like, all right, as a day trader, was seeing consistent, started breaking down. I got out of it. I could have did a lot better on it. Made a little bit, and then I held a little bit more, and I said, screw it. I got out of it. I'm glad I did. I got out most of it on Thursday, and then look what happened. Friday, we're down to 23, breaking all-time lows on the stock. Not a very good sign with Boyle. This is why you got to be careful of these ETFs. But anyway, I want to point that out because people do lose money in trading, okay? But you have to learn how to lose smart, okay? It's part of the game. Some of you don't like to take losses. Listen, you know, marriage is great. Divorce is very expensive. You know, so you just got to be smart about it. Trading's the same thing. They're all great. You love them all, but you don't want to get divorced to a bad one. You just got to know when to cut your losses because it only gets more uglier in a stock. So that was a good call on that one too. Anything we're missing? John, thank you very much, buddy. Anything we're missing, everyone? Anything else? Anybody on social media? Anybody else? So we'll post that up there. By the way, if you're watching on social media, make sure we got a lot of big events going on this week. Just make sure you get your phone, scan that little QR code in the top left-hand corner. You could join us. But that pretty much does it for what I have right here. So what do we got? We got about 15 minutes before the market opens up. Let me bring up over here SGMT again. See what's happened over there. You could see that we're getting a lot more buyers. SGMT. And we posted the news on that, right? Yeah, we got it right here. Here's the news on SMTG for everyone that doesn't know. It's the news on that. And here we go. That's the news on that stock right there for SMTG. So it looks like they did pretty good announcement on one of their drugs, their clinical trials. So listen, drugs are, you know, been hot. Lilly's doing great too, by the way. That was another swing trade, so keep an eye on that one too. So let's get ready for the market open, everyone. Very exciting week, earnings week. Next 2 weeks, it's going to be fun to see what's going on. We're going to have a lot of action going to happen. So this is what we train for. So we'll see you in the trading room. So let's get ready for classes. Let's get ready. I'll see you back in 15 minutes when the market opens up. And like I told you, if you're watching on social media, just like us, friend us, ring the bell, or scan that QR code and join our room. We'll see you. We're here all day. All right, everyone. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.